All right, let's talk about two of the biggest companies on the planet, Amazon and Walmart. Today, we're going deep, using their 2025 annual reports to really figure out who is set to own the future of retail. Let's dive in. At the end of the day, it all boils down to a pretty simple question. Who's actually winning the war for your wallet? These two are in a knockdown, drag-out fight for every single dollar you spend, whether it's online, in a store, for groceries, or for the latest gadget. And honestly, the race has never been tighter. So, if you want to know what's really going on, you can't just read the headlines. You've got to go straight to the source. And for us, that means their 10K filings. These are the super detailed reports where they have to tell everyone exactly how their business is doing. We're going to cut through the noise and decode the raw data together. The big story here, the main theme of this whole battle, really comes down to one idea: convergence. We've got two giants who started on completely opposite ends of the retail world, but as you're about to see, they are now fighting tooth and nail on the exact same turf. Think about it this way. Amazon, right? It was born online. It completely mastered the digital universe, and now it's spending billions building a physical empire to match: delivery vans, warehouses, even actual stores. And then you have Walmart. They are the physical empire. They mastered the superstore, and now they are pouring a fortune into their website, their app, and their delivery network to become a digital force. They're coming from two different directions, but they're heading to the same destination. Okay, so we know their strategies are starting to look alike, but what about the money? How does this all actually look on a balance sheet? This, my friends, is where it gets really interesting, because these two companies, even with similar goals, are powered by completely different financial engines. Okay, first up, Amazon. In 2025, they pulled in a mind-blowing $717 billion in net sales. I mean, that is just a colossal number. It really shows you the insane scale they're operating at. And then you look at Walmart. For their fiscal year, they reported $713 billion in revenue. Just look at those numbers side by side. They are practically identical. On the surface, you'd think it's a dead heat. But that top-line number, it's a little misleading. The real question isn't how much money they make, it's how they make it. And the answer to that question reveals two fundamentally different companies. And here it is. This is Amazon's secret weapon. Yeah, retail is the bulk of their sales, about 82%, but a huge 18% comes from Amazon Web Services, AWS. That's their cloud computing business. And here's the kicker. It runs on unbelievably high profit margins, especially compared to retail. And that one fact changes the entire game. Now, you flip over to Walmart, and it's a totally different world. They are a pure retailer. Their money comes from one thing: selling you stuff. It's an incredibly efficient machine, for sure, but it's a low-margin business by nature. They use technology to make their retail business better, but they don't have this separate, high-profit tech engine funding everything else. And this table just lays it all out perfectly. Same sales numbers, right? But now look at operating income. Amazon's at $80 billion, while Walmart's at $30 billion. And why? It's right there in the cost of sales. For every dollar Walmart makes, they spend almost 76 cents. Amazon, they spend less than 50 cents. That massive gap, fueled by those AWS profits, gives Amazon an operating margin more than double Walmart's. It's like they're playing two different sports. So, now that we know how they're making their money, how are they planning to win the future? Let's take a look at their blueprints for strategy and innovation. The word you hear everywhere these days is omnichannel. And really, all it means is that the line between online shopping and in-store shopping is disappearing. The goal is to blend them into one smooth experience, where you, the customer, can jump between the physical and digital worlds without even thinking about it. And this is where Walmart is just playing chess. It's brilliant. They're taking their biggest asset, their thousands of physical stores, and turning them into mini warehouses. This whole store-as-a-hub idea lets them use what they already have to offer super fast, super efficient local delivery and pickup. They've turned their biggest potential weakness into a massive strength. And you don't have to take my word for it. The numbers show it's working. Over 8,400 of their stores are now part of this network. And get this, their online sales, specifically the stuff fulfilled from their stores, were a major driver of their growth in the US. This is a practical, powerful strategy, and it's paying off. And then there's Amazon. Remember those AWS profits? This is what they let them do. This is a direct quote from their report.
While Walmart is perfecting same-day delivery, Amazon is investing in things like a global satellite internet network and self-driving cars. These are total moonshots, huge, long-term bets that could completely change the world a decade from now. So what we've got is Walmart perfecting the present with this super smart, practical strategy, and Amazon trying to invent a whole new future with these wild tech investments. And that brings us to the final, biggest question of all. So let's just bring it all back to that one core idea. You have Amazon, the digital titan, spending whatever it takes to build the physical network it needs. And you have Walmart, the physical giant, building the digital muscle it needs to compete in an online world. They're both running toward the middle, becoming more like each other every single day. So this leaves us with the ultimate question. As their paths converge, is one strategy going to win out, or are they just going to become two different flavors of the same giant company? Maybe the real takeaway here isn't about picking a winner. It's about realizing that the future of retail isn't online versus in-store. It's a hybrid world, where both of these giants are being forced to become the very thing they started out competing against. And just a quick reminder for everyone, this analysis is for educational purposes. It's based on public information and is definitely not financial advice. Thanks for watching.